1982, Camp 14, North Korea. Imagine being born in prison, not because you committed a crime, not because your parents committed a crime, but because your grandfather said something the government didn't like. This is Shin Dong-hyuk's reality. He's born in Camp 14, a political prison camp so secret that North Korea denies it exists. Satellite images show it clearly. 155 square kilometers of barbed wire, guard towers, coal mines, and barracks. 30,000 prisoners, maybe more. Shin's parents didn't choose each other. They didn't fall in love. They were allowed to marry as a reward for good behavior. That's how marriage works in Camp 14. Guards decide who marries whom. The couple gets to sleep together 5 nights per year. That's it, 5 nights. To produce children who will also be prisoners. Because in North Korea's system, guilt extends 3 generations. Your grandfather criticized the government? You're guilty. Your children are guilty. Your grandchildren are guilty. Shin is born guilty of a crime committed before he existed. His earliest memory? Hunger. Always hunger. The camp provides 600 calories per day. That's 1 McDonald's Big Mac. For an entire day. Children eat rats, insects, anything they can catch. Shin once found corn kernels in cow dung. He washed them and ate them. It was the best meal he'd had in weeks. Second memory, violence. Teachers punish students severely, sometimes fatally, for small mistakes. Guards used harsh methods on prisoners for breaking rules. Shin watches his first execution at age 4. A woman caught with 5 kernels of corn. The entire camp forced to watch her hang. At 4 years old, Shin doesn't understand why everyone looks scared. To him, this is normal. This is life. Third memory, school. But not school as you know it. No math, no history, no literature. The curriculum has one subject, the rules. Rule number 1. Any witness to an attempted escape who fails to report it will face immediate consequences. Rule number 2. Anyone caught stealing food will lose their privileges and face serious disciplinary action. Rule number 3. Any inappropriate contact without consent will result in severe punishment according to facility regulations. 10 rules total. Shin learns to read at age 8. Not books, signs. Warning signs on the electric fence. High voltage, touch and die. Shin is 11 years old when he starts noticing something strange about his mother. She's hiding food. Small amounts. A few kernels of corn, part of a potato. She thinks no one sees, but Shin sees. In Camp 14, hiding food is theft. Theft is punishable by death. And any prisoner who witnesses theft must report it immediately, or die themselves. Shin doesn't think, that's my mother, I should protect her. He thinks, she's breaking the rules, I could be punished for her crime. Because the camp taught him something crucial. Your survival comes first. Always. Family is a weakness. Family will get you killed. One night, Shin wakes up. His mother and older brother are whispering. He pretends to sleep. Listens. They're planning to escape. Shin's heart pounds, not because he's afraid for them, because he's afraid for himself. If they escape and he knew about it, he'll face the ultimate penalty. Rule number 1. Any witness who fails to report an escape will face immediate and severe consequences. Now imagine you're Shin for a moment. You're 11 years old. You just heard your mother planning to escape. You have 2 choices. Choice 1, say nothing. Protect your mother. Risk facing the ultimate penalty yourself. Choice 2, report her. Follow the rules. Survive. What would you choose? Shin doesn't hesitate. The next morning, he tells a guard. Gives details. The whispered conversation, the hidden food, everything. The guard pats his head.
Good boy, you did the right thing.
Shin believes him. In his world, betraying your family is the right thing. It's survival. It's following the rules. Why are they arresting him? This is where Shin learns the cruelest lesson of Camp 14. Even doing the right thing doesn't protect you. Because in a system this evil, there are no safe choices. They throw Shin into an underground prison within the camp, a place called the punishment cell. Concrete walls, no windows, darkness. For 7 months, Shin endures severe punishment, not because the guards think he knew about the escape, but because harsh punishment is the system. Anyone connected to rule breakers gets punished, even informants, even children. They punish him severely. The methods are too disturbing to describe in detail. The worst part? He's held over intense heat sources. The pain is beyond description. When he loses consciousness, they wait for him to wake up and continue. For 7 months. Shin is 11 years old. The scars remain with him forever. Permanent marks covering his back and stomach. Visible evidence of what this system does to children. Now remember, Shin reported his mother to save himself, to follow the rules, to survive. And this is his reward. 7 months of severe punishment. After 7 months of suffering for doing what they told you was right, would you still trust the system? Would you still believe in following the rules? Or would something inside you break? For Shin, something does break, but not in the way you'd expect. November 29th, 1996. After 7 months of punishment, guards finally bring Shin out of the cell. He can barely walk. His body is covered in injuries. Some have become infected. He's lost significant weight. At 11 years old, he's severely malnourished. They take him to the camp's execution ground. The entire camp is already there. Thousands of prisoners in rows. Shin is pushed to the front. He sees his mother and brother. A guard announces their crime. A child witnessing his mother's final moments would be traumatized, would be screaming, would need therapy for life. But Shin isn't normal. Camp 14 raised him to see his mother as a threat, as someone whose actions nearly got him killed. The guards raise their rifles. Shin watches, his face blank. The shots ring out. His mother slumps against the post. Gone. More shots. His brother collapses. Gone. The crowd is dismissed. Shin walks back to his barracks. That night, he sleeps better than he has in months, because now they're gone, and he's safe. Life continues, because in Camp 14, nothing stops. Shin is assigned to work, factory, mines, they need him. This is what Camp 14 does. It doesn't just imprison bodies, it destroys something deeper inside. But here's the question that will haunt the rest of this story. Can that be reversed? Can someone who watched their mother's final moments and felt nothing ever learn to feel again? That answer comes 7 years later, when Shin meets someone who tells him about a world he never knew existed. Camp 14. Shin is 21 years old. His life has been the same every day for 21 years. Wake up at 5 a.m., work in the coal mines for 12 hours, eat 1 meal of corn and cabbage, sleep, repeat. No weekends, no holidays, no hope. Shin has never questioned this because he doesn't know anything else exists. Then he meets Park Young-chol. Park is a new prisoner, but he's different. He wasn't born in the camp. He lived outside, in Pyongyang, North Korea's capital. He traveled to China, saw the world. Park is assigned to work next to Shin in the mines, and he starts talking. At first, Shin doesn't listen. Prisoners who talk too much face consequences. But Park is careful. He whispers, only when guards aren't close. Park talks about China, about cities, about things Shin has never heard of. Shin doesn't remember ever being full, not once in 21 years. This sounds like a fairy tale. Even the guards don't eat meat every day. But Park swears it's true. He's been there. He's seen it. For weeks, Park continues describing this other world. Cities, buildings, cars, television. But what hooks Shin isn't the abstract idea of freedom, it's the food. For 21 years, Shin has thought about food every single moment of every single day. Dreamed about finding extra corn, about catching a rat, about stealing a potato. And now Park is telling him there's a place where hunger doesn't exist. Park explains how to get there, escape past the fence, travel north to the Chinese border, cross the river, and then freedom. Which to Shin means one thing, a full stomach. Shin has heard about escapes before, about people who touched the electric fence, who got shot by guards. He's never heard of anyone succeeding. But Park knows things. Weak spots in the fence, times when guards are distracted, ways to get past the border. He talks about money, jobs, restaurants, concepts Shin doesn't fully understand. But he understands food. For the first time in his life, Shin feels something new. Not hunger, not fear. Want. He wants out. Over the next weeks, Shin prepares. He steals clothes from another prisoner, not much better than his own, just less torn, less obviously prisoner. Hides them under his sleeping mat. He steals shoes, real shoes with actual soles. He watches the fence, studies the guard patterns, notices when they change shifts, when they're most tired. And he waits. They plan for January. During the New Year holidays, when guards will be drinking, relaxed, less attentive, that's when they'll go. Shin can wait a few weeks. He's waited 21 years. He can wait a little longer. But how does someone who's never known freedom actually escape from a place designed to be inescapable? Park leads the way. They move through shadows, avoiding searchlights. Every few seconds, they freeze. Listen. Make sure no one is following. The fence is ahead. 20 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet. This close, Shin can hear it. A low hum. Electricity flowing through metal. Enough voltage to kill a person instantly.
There. The tree might have damaged the wiring. If we're lucky, the voltage is lower.
If, might, lucky. These are not reassuring words. But what choice do they have? Go back to the barracks? Work in the mines until they die? Park goes first. He approaches the fence carefully, reaches out, touches it with one finger. Nothing happens. No shock, no sparks. He smiles, grabs the fence with both hands, starts climbing. Shin watches, heart pounding. Park is halfway up, 3/4, almost over. Then the fence activates. A flash of light, a crackling sound. Park cries out, his body seizes. Park collapses. The fence was live after all. His body goes still. Now here's the moment that defines everything. The moment that shows exactly what Camp 14 created. Shin has two choices. Choice 1, try to save Park. Pull him off the fence. Give up his own escape to help someone in danger. Choice 2, use Park's body as a shield. Climb over while the electricity flows through Park instead of him. He grabs the fence, uses Park's body as leverage, climbs. The electricity shocks him, injures his legs, his hands, but it's survivable because most of the current is flowing through Park. Shin pulls himself over the top, drops to the other side, lands in snow. Behind him, Park's body falls. Shin doesn't look back, doesn't mourn, doesn't think about the man who told him about freedom. He runs. This is the moment that will haunt Shin for the rest of his life. The moment he'll think about every single day once he learns what empathy means. But right now he's just running. Because he's free. Or is he? Because being outside the fence doesn't mean you've escaped North Korea. Shin runs through the forest for hours. No plan, no direction. Just away from the camp. His legs are injured, from knees to ankles. Severe injuries from the electric current. His hands are cut from the wire. But he keeps running, because stopping means death. Remember, Shin has lived his entire life inside Camp 14. He's never seen a city, never used money, never talked to a stranger without permission. He's never even seen how normal North Koreans live. Dawn comes. Shin collapses near a farming village, maybe 15 miles from the camp. Not enough. For the first time since the escape, reality hits him. He's outside the fence. But now what? He's in North Korea, one of the most controlled countries on Earth. Travel permits required, soldiers everywhere, checkpoints on every road. And Shin looks exactly like an escaped prisoner. Shaved head, emaciated, burn marks visible on his legs, blood on his clothes. He needs to hide, to think, to figure out what comes next. Shin approaches the village carefully, staying in the trees, watching. And what he sees is completely foreign. Houses, people walking around, freely, not in rows, not marching. A woman hangs laundry, a man carries water. Children play in the snow. Nobody is being punished. Nobody is being watched by guards. Nobody is starving. Or at least, not like in Camp 14. This is normal life, because he needs to become invisible. And to do that, he needs to look like he belongs. Behind one of the houses, Shin spots a barn. Old, weathered. The door is slightly open. He waits until dark, then moves quickly, slips inside. The barn smells like hay and animals. It's warmer than outside, almost comfortable. And there, hanging on a hook on the wall, a military uniform. Old, worn. The green fabric faded, but real. Shin stares at it, his hands shaking. This is the uniform of the people who hurt him, who took his mother away, who made his entire life unbearable. But it's also his ticket out. This is when Shin learns his first lesson about the outside world. Steal the right things and you become invisible. Shin takes off his prison clothes, the thin, torn fabric that marks him as what he is. He leaves them in a corner of the barn. He puts on the military uniform. The pants are too big. He has to tie them with a piece of rope. The jacket hangs loose on his skeletal frame. The boots are stiff, but they fit. He looks down at himself. Green fabric, red star on the cap. He's wearing their uniform now. The next morning, Shin walks out of the barn, wearing the uniform, walking like he has a right to be there. A farmer sees him, an old man heading to his field. The man's eyes widen slightly when he sees the uniform. Then he bows. Just a small bow, respectful. Shin nods, keeps walking. The farmer doesn't ask questions, doesn't look twice, just bows and continues on his way. Because the uniform makes Shin legitimate, makes him invisible in plain sight. He's no longer an escaped prisoner. He's a soldier. Thin, obviously malnourished, but a soldier. And that changes everything. Shin spends the next days moving through villages, always north, always toward the border. The uniform protects him. People step aside when they see it. Some bow, others avoid eye contact. Nobody asks questions. He steals food when he can, a bag of rice from a storage shed, vegetables from a farm. Once, an old woman offers him soup.
For our soldiers,
She says quietly. Shin takes it, thanks her with a nod, eats it behind a building where nobody can see. The soup is warm. It has actual pieces of potato in it, maybe some cabbage. It's the best meal he's had in weeks, maybe in his entire life. But it tastes like ash, because this kindness isn't for him, it's for the uniform, for what people think he is. If they knew the truth, that he's an escaped prisoner, that he's breaking every rule just by existing, they would turn him in immediately. The uniform is a lie, but it's a lie that keeps him alive. Sometimes Shin passes actual soldiers, real ones. His heart pounds. This is it. They'll see through the disguise. They'll arrest him. It's over. But the soldiers just nod. One even salutes casually, because Shin is wearing the uniform. And in North Korea, the uniform is everything. It gives him permission to exist, to walk freely, to be somewhere without explanation. As Shin travels north, he collects things, small things, things that might be valuable. Cigarettes, he finds them sometimes, in abandoned buildings, or steals them from storage areas. He doesn't smoke, but cigarettes are currency in North Korea. Food, he hoards whatever he can carry. Dried corn, preserved vegetables, a small bag of rice he steals from a farm. These aren't just for him, these are for something else. Because Shin knows something about the border. Everyone knows. The guards are hungry. The guards are poor. The guards take bribes. Not money, nobody has money, but food, cigarettes, those are worth more than gold. Years of inadequate nutrition visible in every bone. But he's alive, still moving, still heading north. The uniform keeps him safe, keeps him invisible, but every day he wears it, something inside him dies a little more. Because he's not just wearing their clothes, he's becoming them, playing their role, using their power to survive. After months of traveling, Shin reaches the Tumen River. It's winter. The river is frozen solid, a sheet of white ice stretching between North Korea and China. Freedom is 300 feet away, but between Shin and freedom, border guards, men with rifles, men with orders to shoot escapees on sight. Shin watches the border for days, studying, learning the patterns. The guards patrol, but not constantly. There are gaps, moments when they're warming themselves by fires, smoking, talking. And Shin notices something else. The guards look hungry. They look cold. They look like men who would do anything for a hot meal or a pack of cigarettes. Most escapees try to sneak across, run when the guards aren't looking, hope they don't get shot. Shin does something different, something that shows exactly what months of survival have taught him. He walks directly to the guards. The guard steps forward, demands identification. Shin has no identification, no papers, no story that will hold up, but he has something else. He reaches slowly into his bag. The guard tenses, hand moves toward his rifle. Shin pulls out food, the rice, preserved vegetables, then cigarettes. 2 packs, everything he's collected over months. He holds them out, says nothing. The guard looks at the food, at the cigarettes, then at Shin's face. The guard knows something is wrong. The uniform doesn't fit right. Too big, too worn. This soldier is too thin, too nervous. His hands shake. This isn't a real soldier. Maybe a deserter. Maybe an escapee. Maybe worse. But the guard is starving. His family is starving. He hasn't had cigarettes in months. And this person, whoever he is offering more food than the guard has seen in weeks. The guard makes a calculation. Report this, get nothing. His commander takes the credit. The food disappears. Take the bribe. He eats tonight. His children eat. He gets cigarettes. The risk? If this person gets caught later, the guard might be punished. But that's a future problem. Starvation is a right now problem. The guard takes the food, takes the cigarettes, looks around to make sure his commander isn't watching. He doesn't ask who Shin is, doesn't ask where he's from, doesn't ask for papers, because he doesn't want to know. Knowing makes him responsible. The guard points toward the river, nods once. Shin walks toward the ice, doesn't run. Running attracts attention. He lights one of the cigarettes, inhales deeply. Shin steps onto the ice. The frozen surface creaks under his weight, but holds. He walks across, slowly, steadily, like he has every right to be there. Behind him, the guard finishes the rice, still smoking, still watching. He could call out, could raise his rifle, could stop this, but he doesn't. Because in North Korea, everyone is hungry. Everyone is desperate. And sometimes, survival means looking the other way. Shin reaches the Chinese side, steps off the ice, turns around once. The guard is still there, still smoking, still watching. Then the guard turns away, goes back to his post, pretends he saw nothing. Shin is out. He escaped North Korea.